KCB Kenya National Rally Championship is back with the fourth round of the spectacular flat-out dusty adventure. The battle of the championship headed south to the coastal region of Kenya, and Voi town hosted the event. It's been 4 years since the sound of rally engines roared in the breathtaking landscapes of Voi, as the town last hosted the first round of the Kenya National Rally Championship back in 2011. The Mombasa Motor Club will, for the first time in 11 years, break away from hosting in the traditional North and South Coast Mombasa regions to the magnificent stages of fully closed rally routes in the private Rukinga Ranch in Voi. This year's KCB Voi Rally is the first ever motorsports event that is carbon neutral, meaning that the land hosting the rally gets carbon credits for complying with international environment protection laws. The rally welcomed the return of a fully competitive field following the withdrawals of top crews due to uncertain weather conditions in the last rally held in Kajiado. The scrutineering was held at the Shell petrol station on the Mombasa-Nairobi highway on Friday. There was no parc fermé, and drivers were allowed to take their cars home and proceed to the official start the following morning. Round 4 of the 8 rounds of the KCB Kenya National Rally Championship Series started at KCB Voi branch on Saturday morning, where a packed entry headed towards the 300-meter spectator stage, a chance for fans to meet and watch the elite competitors. It was a shake-up stage and a crowd entertainer as defending Kenya National Rally champion Baldev Chaga, Tapio Laukanen and Carl Tundo shared the fastest time with a time of 32 seconds. Six other drivers were tied for fourth: Karan Patel, Rajbir Rai, Raji Barij, Jas Mangat, Onkar Rai and Pavit Kent on 33 seconds. Then the 50 competitors drove 40 kilometers towards Mombasa to tackle 6 stages which were all held at Rukinga Ranch. The first competitive stage and the longest of the rally was the 52-kilometer Simba stage, which ended just 1 kilometer before the start of the second, the 33-kilometer Ndovu stage. Then after a 20-minute service break, the competitors tackled the 17-kilometer Twiga stage, after which the crew headed again to the last service before repeating the last 3 stages and head for the finish and prize ceremony at the ranch. The 6 stages covered 204 kilometers out of a 280-kilometer route. The rotation seeding system used on determining who starts first on the road on each event fell to car number 6, the Ford Fiesta R5 of Manvir Barrian and his British co-driver Drew Sturrock. Sheer endurance was demanded from the cars and the drivers on this flat-out and technical 52-kilometer section. Manvir had a poor run on this stage. Being first on the road, he was clearing the path for the other competitors, and though he finished a disappointing 23rd position, he was happy that he did not encounter any serious challenges.
It was okay, we were basically cutting all the grass for everybody else. But other than that, it was okay. We didn't have any, it was really good. No animals, no cars, no nothing. It was really nice.
The informed championship leader Jassi Chate was the fastest on this stage. With Gugu Panasar calling the notes, he finished the stage in 29 minutes and 17 seconds. Coming 12 seconds later and in second position was defending champion Baldev Chaga and his co-driver Ravi Soni. Quentin Mitchell in the Skoda Fabia was a further 37 seconds behind Chaga with the third fastest time. Mitchell was being navigated by Thomas Taylor, a first-time navigator in the motorsport scene. Taylor, however, has motorsports blood running through his veins, as his uncle, Orson Taylor, is the former 3-time Kenya National Navigator champion. Ian Duncan, navigated by Andrew Doig, pushed his Mitsubishi Evo 10 to a 4th fastest finish, 8 seconds behind Mitchell. The Proton Neo Satria of Carl Tundo and Tim Jessup was struggling for top speed, and he was 5th fastest on this stage. Raising eyebrows was the driver of car number 100, Pavitt Kent. With former national navigator champion Raju Semi and driving a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, he was in 6th place, just 5 seconds behind Tundo. Alistair Kavanagh was back in his powerful Proton Satria S2000. He cautiously finished the stage with the 8th fastest time. Barrage was lucky to notice a puncture just before the start of the grueling stage. With navigator Jasnil Gatore, they changed the puncture in a record 1 minute and 50 seconds, and after the start, he was weary and eager to secure his first finish this year, and by the end of the stage, he was 9th fastest. Tejveer Rai, navigated by Zahir Shah, finished the stage in the 10th fastest time. Sadly, some of the top drivers had hit problems. The powerful Ford Fiesta of Rajbir Rai started overheating, and he had to carefully balance his speed to prevent damaging his engine, and by the end of the stage he could only manage 12th position. Just 10 kilometers into the stage, Tapio Laukkanen was struggling in his Subaru Impreza. The front diff had failed, which dropped him to 14th place.
First proper stage we broke the gearbox about 10 k's in, and since that we drove with the two-wheel drive, lost about 5 minutes or something. And now unfortunately we do have a standard box in the car without the front diff, and it's not the same like a rally car. But anyway, we are trying to carry on and get to the finish and see if we can score some points.
Hussein Malik was lucky that his Mitsubishi Lancer's ball joint snapped when he wasn't driving at high speed. The car went off the road and damaged the front suspension and bodywork, enough for him to call it a day. Nadeem Khan's Subaru Impreza also succumbed to overheating of the engine, putting him out of the rally.
The car overheated, and then we tried to put water, but it can't still start, so we don't know what has happened, but we'll try and sort it out.
Jasmeet Iceman Chana also ran into problems in the earlier half of the rally. He missed a turn and the car just mysteriously shut down, costing him valuable minutes trying to start the car. and when he finally got back onto the road and was racing to recover lost time, he overshot a fast right and hit a tree. The damage in the rear completely slowing down his pace and putting him out of the top 20 by the end of the stage. Chatty claimed his second stage of the rally by winning the 33-kilometer Dover section in 17 minutes and 16 seconds at an average speed of 115 kilometers per hour. Chatty was being pushed hard by the flying Skoda of Mitchell, who was just 2 seconds behind. Baldev Chagga, thirsty for a win this year, clocked the third fastest time, 9 seconds slower than the leader Chatty. Uganda's Jas Mangat made up for his slow start at the previous stage and recorded the 4th fastest time. Appearing for the first time in the top 10 was Anwar, who's navigated by Zimbabwe's Gareth Dorr. He had the 8th fastest time, 1 minute behind the stage winner Chatty. The most improved rally driver in 2014, Karan Patel, topped the top 10 with the 10th fastest time.
I mean, it's very technical, very fast, very narrow, making a few mistakes here and there. Still a new car for me, so we're looking for a finish.
By the end of the 3 stages, the Kisumu-based driver Jasprit Chatty extended his overall lead to 19 seconds from Chagga, with Mitchell still in 3rd place. The amazing Kent had moved up to 4th, 7 seconds ahead of Duncan, who had slowed down due to a misfiring engine. Ankarai's 6th place was coming under threat from the Proton of Kavanagh, just 1 second separating the duo. Uganda's Jas Mangat made it into the top 10 after Karan Patel dropped to 11th. Meanwhile, in the supplementary class, former two-wheel drive champion James Kirimi was leading in his Subaru Impreza GC8 by 48 seconds. Second fastest in the S-Class was Eric Njogu, navigated by Tony Kimondo in their Subaru Impreza N8. Defending S-Class champion Murage Waigor was 3rd fastest in this class. Eric Bengi was in control of the two-wheel drive class, and by the end of the stage he had a comfortable 2-minute lead. Coming in second in the two-wheel drive class was the Toyota Corolla RSI of Leonardo Varese, navigated by Kigo Karethi. The Toyota Sprinter of Alex Lairangi, co-driven by Anthony Gichohi, was chasing the leaders and in 3rd position. Sami Nyori was pushing his Toyota Run X, but bowed out of the two-wheel drive race with a broken strut. The surprise leader in the classic car class was the Datsun 160J of Malindi fisherman Rob Hellier.
We just realised our windows popped out just in the last stage. We didn't even notice it had gone. So we were getting a bit of dust, but other than that, nothing. It's all good.
Rajbir Rai was having car trouble and eventually had to retire. Midway through the stage he had to stop as his car succumbed to engine failure due to overheating.
Yeah, it's okay, we've retired because in the stage 3 we had an overheating engine, so we stopped to take the grass out. When we stopped, it switched off, and then we couldn't. It took us about 20 minutes to get it going again, and then we came out of the stage, but then it stopped again, so we just called it a day.
The unforgiving hot weather conditions claimed yet another supercar. The Proton of Carl Flash Tundo suffered overheating as a result of long grass on an earlier section. Tundo has now gone through 3 engines since the Proton's arrival in the local scene.
Terrible! I blew my engine. So what happens in rallying, I don't know. It's the 3rd engine that's gone in this car, so I've got to go back and find out what's wrong with it and rethink about what to do.
The remaining 42 cars endured the heat and made it to the first of the 22-minute service at Rukinga. The 4th stage was the 17-kilometer Twiga stage. Baldev Chaga made the best of the more open flat-out section, emerging with the fastest time of 9 minutes and 46 seconds. Chate, who was dominating the race, was 2nd fastest and just 3 seconds slower than Chaga. Tapio's Subaru Impreza was nursing both gearbox problems and diff issues. However, he mastered the Subaru to 3rd fastest time in this section. Raja Barrich was 4th fastest, 2 seconds behind Tapio. Quentin Mitchell was left in the dust and recorded the 5th fastest time in this stage, 12 seconds behind Chaga. So after the first half of the rally, Chate was still in the lead, 16 seconds ahead of Chaga. Mitchell was in 3rd place, but growing big in his rearview mirror was the Mitsubishi of Duncan, who had now overtaken the young talent Pavitt Kent into 4th place. Raji and Alistair were tied in 6th place. But Onka was getting quicker every stage and was just 6 seconds behind them in 8th place. Mangat was sandwiched between the Rai brothers in 9th place as Tejveer topped up the top 10. Dennis Mwenda and his navigator Jobin Chiru have been having a solid and clinical run so far in the season, finishing every rally since graduating from the 2-wheel drive class to the N class. He was in a respectable 13th overall position. Amanraj Rai, the younger brother to Rajbir Rai, in only his 2nd rally of the season, was head-to-head with the other top 10 first loop finishers and was placed 16th overall with his Mitsubishi Evo 10. In 17th position overall, was lucky to still be in the rally after he missed a medium right and hit a tree which damaged the front of his Subaru. Farhaz Khan and Jasmeet Chana filled in the top 20 finishers of the first half of the rally.
Highlight for this rally is just to bring the car home for Libya without a scratch, without a dent. We've not damaged anything, and yes, we were fast and consistent.
In the S class, James Kirimi still had a commanding lead of 1 minute and 40 seconds. The battle for second place in this class was heating up. Jogo kept his pace and maintained his second place position.
It's fantastic. Smooth roads, very fast. Sandy in some places. Very unforgiving if you make a mistake.
Slow line. 8 marks left. Slow line. Yeah. Yeah. 2 marks left. Asa, don't worry.
Hunting him down was Murage Waigwa, who was 21 seconds behind and in third position. In the two-wheel drive class, Eric Bengi unfortunately was yet another casualty of engine failure and was out of the competition. This meant that the defending two-wheel drive champion Leonardo Varese was now in pole position in this class. Coming in second was Alex Lairangi.
The roads are quite smooth, but it's a mixture of everything, because there are rocks in some places and the jumps, and the road is just too tight. As much as we want to do high speeds, but we are being limited by the size of the roads. But so far so good.
Arif Kana, co-driven by John Ngugi in their Subaru Impreza GC8, was now in third position in this class. In the classic cars category, Rob Hellier was still leading, followed by the Ford Escort of Jonathan Soman and the Porsche Carrera of Aslam Khan.
So far it's been very nice. We are enjoying the roads. There is no traffic, there is no bodas, no oncoming cars. We are enjoying it, so we can drive with a full heart now.
The 42 cars headed to the Rukinga service for the second time to prepare for the second loop of the previous 3 stages.
The stages are quite quick and with blind corners here and there, so you have to be able to gauge your brakes, your braking distance quite early. Other than that, no, not a problem.
A record 6 female competitors started the event, and 36th place Natasha Tunda and Chantal Young were on their way to becoming the first all-female crew in 12 months to finish a rally. They were the only all-female crew to fight for the Coupe de Dame trophy. The other female competitors were all in the co-driver's seat, with 2 making their debut on a rally counting towards the Kenya National Rally Championship.
At least it was good to see 6 ladies this time round, because for the last 4 events it's just been me and Tuta. So we hope we'll keep seeing now more ladies as the season goes to an end here.
The 5th stage was back to the second loop of the 52 kilometers in the stage. Sticking to the racing lines, Chate was going straight over the grass and cutting corners at incredible speed. A risky strategy, but by the end of the stage he had improved by a massive 71 seconds from his first loop time, and again he was the fastest in this stage. Tapio Laukkanen was making a comeback and clocked the second fastest time in this stage, 5 seconds slower than Chate. Chaga also had a good run in this stage and was 58 seconds faster than his first loop time, although it was nowhere close to him capturing the rally lead. He was 3rd fastest and 25 seconds slower than Chate in this stage. Mitchell pushed the tiny but powerful Skoda Fabia to record the 4th fastest time, 52 seconds behind the leader Chate. Duncan was trying to keep his revs as low as possible to avoid any further loss of power on the already misfiring engine. The long grass had also affected the Mitsubishi. He was fifth fastest on this stage. The driver on a mission was Anwar Rai. He was sixth fastest on this stage. Anwar had now displaced Kavanagh and Pavitt to claim fifth place overall. Leaving the battle for sixth to Kavanagh, Pavitt and Barrage. In the two-wheel drive class, Leonardo Ferresi's main rivals were out of the race. Alex Lairangi was sidelined with electrical failure, and also Arif Khanna was out of the race. This left the youngsters from Mombasa, Prakash Jetian and Farid Mohammed in a Toyota Vitz, to move up to second place. Having navigated for his father in previous rallies, this was Prakash's first ever rally as a driver.
It was my first round of KNRC. It's my first KNRC, so my challenge was just to finish the rally, and yeah, that's it.
In the second last stage of the rally, the Mitsubishi Lancer of Chaga hurtled down the stage the fastest in 16 minutes and 49 seconds. Chaga trimmed just 11 seconds off Chatte's lead and was now 30 seconds behind with only one stage remaining. Laukkanen, who was now racing with his Subaru in two-wheel drive mode, was again second fastest in the stage and 8 seconds behind Chaga. Chatte was in a confident mood at the end of the stage. He lost time by slowing down a bit after hearing a funny noise from the rear. He was third fastest and still had the overall lead. Loss of seconds after an overshoot on a tight corner did not matter for Duncan, as he found himself recording the fourth fastest time and now third overall place. This was after the Skoda Fabio of Mitchell stopped in the stage. An alternator wire had come loose and was draining the battery, which forced him to retire. With one stage remaining, Chatte held a 30-second lead from the second place Baldev Chaga. With Mitchell out of the rally, the rest of the top runners moved one position higher in privileged positions. The final stage of the rally was the 17-kilometer Tweeter stage. The impressive Chatte was uncatchable. He dominated the stage and he claimed his fourth stage win, beating the tired Duncan and Chaga by 3 seconds. Chatte and his co-driver Gugu Panasar wrapped up their second consecutive victory. It was Chatte's third career win and Panasar's second.
It was good. I mean, we enjoyed it. It was a very fast rally, well organized, and we enjoyed it from the first stage onwards. Yeah, it was a good rally. We really enjoyed it with our pace. We were happy. Everything went well. The car behaved well. Yeah, we did well.
Despite his well-placed and thoughtful run, Baldev Chaga had to be content with the bridesmaid's role again. He was denied the one major rally to have eluded him. In the last decade, Chaga has finished on the podium 6 times, including finishing second a total of 3 times. 8 times winner Ian Duncan registered his third consecutive rally finish in the Mitsubishi Evo 10, but his finish also had an emotional touch. His co-driver Andrew Doig was rallying just 7 days after the death of his father, the legend David Doig. David was a renowned navigator and went into the motorsports history books when he guided the legendary Joginder Flying Singh. This finish was Doig's career best result and came 6 years after his last finish on the 2009 KCB SNL Mombasa Rally with Peter Horsey. Onkarai was left to regret for not being fast enough the opening stages, but 4th place was a great achievement from a last-minute surge. At last, Alistair Kavanagh brought the troublesome Proton Neo Satria S2000 to a finish on his 7th rally. It was the first time he finished in the Malaysian car since his debut in 2014. It was also a big relief for Raji Barrage to get to finish a rally after retiring in all the rallies he's competed in this season. His 6th place came with cool tactical driving and avoiding taking any unnecessary risks. Pavid Kent was unfortunate to finish in 10th position after being in the top 5 for most of the rally. 38 cars finished the rally, making every result a victory. Chatte leads the championship standings with 27 points ahead of Duncan and Chagga respectively. In the two-wheel drive championship, Varesi is the new leader with 71.5 points, followed by Eric Bengi and Sami Nyori respectively.
It was a tough event, long, dusty, deceivingly fast. People underestimated the speed of the rally, and we're very happy to have won the two-wheel drive class.
Murage Waigwa is still leading the S-Class Championship, with Chadrakant and Kirimi filling in the top 3 positions. Rob Hellier, winner of the Coast Rally in 1998, was a shock winner in the classic car class in his Datsun 160J. Jonathan Soman is in pole position, with Aslam Khan and Alistair Kavanagh in privileged positions. So after a grueling race, the KCB Voi Rally did not disappoint. The action, suspense and surprises made it great entertainment for all rally enthusiasts. And all this was made possible through the generous sponsorship from KCB, who continue to support the Kenya National Rally Championship, thus contributing to the growth and development of motorsports in Kenya. Chatte is now firmly among the favourites, heading into the 5th round of the Kenya National Rally Championship in Eldoret. The race for the 2015 championship continues. See you in Eldoret.